Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the week in review, and the Eagle has landed. I am finally home, and I'm here to do this, and I apologize for getting it out to you so late. I was coming from Universal Studios, and the plane was late, and anyways, highly recommended. Go to Epic Universal Studios in Orlando, pass some accounts, get funded, get paid, save your schmeckles, go here. It was a great time. You won't be disappointed. Even as an adult, I'm more than happy that I went. So, great time had by all. So, with that being said, now let's go ahead and get right into the week in review. So, guys, as you know, we had some geopolitical news over the weekend. We had Trump and Iran not able to make a deal. Big surprise. Obviously, we kind of figured that the market would gap down. As I put out a Bitcoin post a couple hours ago, well before the market opened, that showed Bitcoin was down about 2%, a couple grand. Which is always a preclude to what's going to happen for us. So with that being said, we kind of knew that this was going to happen, and we have actually fell into some good support. This could present a really nice buying opportunity here. We'll see as we're still really traversing this leg. We're in a very important spot right now. So I am not even going to really talk about SPX today. I want to get into ES, and I want to talk about VIX very little, but more so ES, because this is a really interesting spot that we're in. It really could go higher, and if we really push lower than the spot that we were at, essentially this evening, it could come much, much lower. So I want to lay it out for you guys and just kind of show you what I'm looking at. So let's get right into it, and let's start with VIX, right? So here's VIX. Okay, so this was the big level for us, again, last week while I was gone. 2104 daily, 2078 weekly, definitely untested, okay? If this pops up here, this can get a nice little smack. Okay. However, I'll say this. I think that we more than likely will have gapped up with this push down. We'll see where we open. And so we have some untested resistance right here at 2343 and 2430 for the weekly daily up to the upside. And again, our big monthly at 2470. Okay. So we're going to keep an eye on this area for a reaction. And technically speaking, quote unquote, this area could be support if we pop above it. But with that being said, yes, it's played many times, but if we continue to push higher, and I'm going to show you exactly the spot in ES where this is all going to come together for you, you'll get exactly what I'm saying when I get into it. This is going to be a big tiebreaker for us, this 2078 weekly, okay, and this 2104 daily right here. Okay, and if they stay below this, if we end up popping up and selling back, whatever we end up doing, as long as we're below this, we have a strong possibility of coming to 1744 and 1620. Okay, but above this, we will more than likely come test this area. Now, keep in mind, this monthly's been a monster for some time. They push above 2470. We've got nothing untested until we get up here into the 30s. And you guys know what happens when we get above this monthly. This pushes the ES down hardcore above 2470. So we've played this for months, weeks, whatever you want to call it. And so, the market has memory, and so do we. So this is our spot, okay? So that's really all I want to talk about with VIX. Now, I'm going to pull over, as usual, the weekly TPO. I want to get into it here with you. I'm actually going to pull up some big guns here. We're going to start with the monthly, so check this out. This is a monster here, guys. Guess where we're back at? The 68.57.25. I mean, we have played this level till we're blue in the face, and it is going to be important again. So here we go, guys. Keep an eye on this level for above below, okay? It is very much tested. The real question is do they push above it, or is this the retest to come lower? Because technically this was the test here, guys, for a pullback. I'm just letting my pin pull up right now, show you guys what is a possibility for either direction. So we could either do one of these numbers, right? And then this is tested. This is our leg up. It's tested. We could come down hard, or they simply push above this right now and we continue our trend to the upside. So this is going to be a monster level for us. This is exactly where we're at right now. This is exactly where the gap fills at. That we just gapped down. It's just funny because these levels continue to show themselves over and over and over again. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here in like 2 seconds. So let me pull this chart out of the way. So check this out. Now I combined some of these profiles just to make my life a little easier, but that's okay. You'll get the gist here. So check this out. I left what was important. This is last week. This is insane. Okay, we had a triple distribution. Okay, and we had basically triple distribution. I don't know when the last time I've seen one of these, just to be honest. It's just pretty wild. So I'm really drawing 3 point of controls here. Okay, we've got the weekly value area high at 21, but I like this point of control right here where all this volume's at 68.16. I've got another one up here at 57. And then the real one, when I say real one, quote unquote real one, they're all real. That's the thing. It's just how Sierra decides that it wants to calculate it is down at 66.45. And so these are all big spots. And then we've got this low volume area in here that still needs to get filled in. There's actually a single there and very low volume. So this is a really interesting looking profile here. And this kind of sets us up for a squeeze, especially, once this is our price, and we essentially fell almost all the way down into here, and we played this other basically point of control tonight, and they're starting to push up, and they played some dailies, but we're talking about from a value perspective. If we end up pushing back up in here, we're going to fill this in, at least come up here and reject into 68.44. So kind of interesting stuff. And if you recall, 68.44, geez, that's really close to our 68.57, because it could go a little higher, right? I don't know, right? And actually, look what this point of control is right here. Check this out. It's funny. This point of control, this triple POC, 68.57.25. My Lord, the confluence. Imagine that. Okay, so this is really interesting stuff. I wanted you guys to see this. Now, obviously, as you can see, if they push underneath this POC here, which is going to be a magnet, I'm going to tell you right now, this thing's going to be a magnet. If they push below this, this is going to start to fill in. Okay, now we do have some areas in here. Actually, I want to show you something. I just thought about this just now. So let me turn this split on. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Draw midline. There we go. Okay, so I believe there is an area of support here. Yeah, there's this weekly at 67.06. And so usually the midlines will play as a level. So you got to look for a half gap, and that's around 67.25. So I don't really have anything structurally there, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on. So anyways, just want to let you know that if we push below 67.49.50, this will be our first target, and then we'll come a little lower. So I just wanted to show you this so you can see exactly what's happening here. And we're going to go ahead and get into the candlestick charts now. So this is really simple stuff here, guys. It really is. And we're actually pushing up right now. So we came down and we played this shoulder here at 67.72.75. That's what we played tonight, and I'm going to show you here shortly. Okay, and if we're playing this right now, as you can see, we're at 68.04. I was long actually and just got out of the daily here at 99.75. They're still pushing. So if they push above this tomorrow, 67.99.75, we can come all the way up. There's not a whole lot of resistance here. Okay, and below 67.72, we spin off and we come down, and our first real spot is 67.50. Okay, it's a spot that I really want to buy actually. All right, so we'll look into that here shortly. And then I got nothing else until we get much lower. So here's what we want to keep in mind. Okay, this is way higher right now. All right, but we have the monthly. Look, check this out. This is kind of funny. So you can see it on this daily right here. Check this out. This is our big monthly, right? So we played this daily, essentially played these two top-down levels right here. I'll show you. Check this out. We'll make this easy. I'll stop it. And we're basically coming up into this area right here, okay? So as long as they hold this, we're going to push up here, okay? So you can clearly see what's going on here. You can use this 14. This is a great level for us to look. If we push above, we will more than likely come up in here, okay? And I'm using this because I'm looking at another chart right now. It's the same level as a different level that I have, so we'll use that for confluence. But I just wanted to show you exactly what's happening. And then below this, we basically start to slip down, and there's actually a level right here I was telling you guys, 67.50, 67.48, this area. This is the only area of support that I have in here, so I'll show you here shortly. All right, so that is the big above below spot for me. Now, I just want to point one thing out here, guys. We've talked about this monthly here, right? 68.57. We can come a little higher, and I'll show you where I think we can come. But I want you to remember one thing. This level is untested, okay? It is now untested, and it could play again if we end up filling this gap, okay? If we come up here and play this, this can play again, okay? I'm going to tell you right now during the cash session. Now, it doesn't mean it will. It'll be a very key spot for us, okay? But again, if we push up to 83, this is our main leg down, 69, 61, 75, okay? If they push above 83, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and go into the 4 hour, show you guys what I'm looking at here. And I'm going to go down and show you the 4 hour the way it is all by itself. So I like this view, okay? And just to show you, this is that spot up here. This is this huge leg down, 69.51. This thing is massive and it's untested. This will provide an extreme reaction. However, before we even think about that, we've got to get above this pivot. You guys remember 68.06 from last week? I think we all took this and made money off of this level. I'm almost sure of it. At least everybody in the room I know did. As long as we push above this level, as you can see, we damn near hit it just now. This will continue to go up. We've got 68.25.75 and 68.34. This is the big one right here, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and throw these on real fast. You can see that we got singles. This is that single I showed you in the weekly, that double, that in between that, what do you want to call it, that low volume node in between the multiple distribution right here, the double distribution. Okay, that's this. All right, and then boom, look at this. This is that weekly POC right here. This area is untested. All right, so as long as they push above 68.06, we're going to continue into these areas of resistance, fill this in, and then play this. Okay, now as you can see, the 200, I think this is the 100-day moving average is right here also at 68.34. Huge deal. Okay, so just keep this in mind. Right, and you can also see that once we get above this, we start to push outside the previous week's value. Right, so check this out. This is that. This is, or I'm sorry, we start to push inside of this value. Excuse me. We come up into here and push into here. I was confused because it said weekly value area high, and just because these are goofy. It's a goofy profile. So, anyways, come in here and rotate. But again, if they cannot, I'm going to go back and show you this. It's pretty clear what's going to happen here. Okay. So even from a 4 hour perspective, if they get below 67.69, we're going to come down here and grab 67.49.25. This is a fantastic level. There's a naked point of control here. There's a big February swing low here. There's that swing pivot high here. There's a lot of reasons to like this spot, okay? And then we obviously want to see it get back above. But one of the things I want to point out for tomorrow is if they pull back, which I don't know if they will tonight, okay? This move very well could be on the way. And essentially, if we open up tomorrow and we're above this 68.06, we want to get long. And really, this daily is good enough, 67.99. I got long above this daily here and brought it up into here. So, I'm real happy with all this stuff. And the reason why is, I'll show you the reason why, is because this is our daily structure. This is the leg down. Let me show you. This is a leg down, right? It's the main leg, okay? And you've got these sub legs, whoop, whoop, and then you've got the support, right? So you've got three areas right here. As long as we're starting to get back above this shoulder, okay? And then we're back above this daily, which is this leg down, and then back above this daily, the 99, and we're walking up. Look, we just popped up to 06. They're pushing right now, as you can see. So hell, by the time we wake up this morning, I ended up taking this daily as profit. But, shit, I actually have my original target up here, so we'll see what happens. I think they could fill all this in. This might have been a good buying opportunity, and then this is obviously an awesome spot for resistance. But what I wanted to tell you was coming into the cash session tomorrow, if they pull back, I don't have anything untested in here right now. We might later. But what I would be looking for is a sweep into 67.61, which is the September all-time high leg down weekly. Okay, let me show you this on this 4 hour. I think. Let's see. Well, I'll show you to you on the weekly. right here. This is our big weekly. Okay, so here we go. Look at this sweep. We would sweep right into here, grab this. We're going to get back above 67, 69, and ultimately back above the dailies there at 72 and what is that? 58. I'm sorry, 72 and 78 or 87, excuse me. And this thing just continues to rock on. So, anyways, you guys get the point. That's basically what we're looking at. And so, I've given you the major above, below, extreme levels for us to look at. You just gotta have to be patient. You know, right now there's a good chance that we will continue to squeeze higher. What happens when we get back to the weekly? It's hard to say. Okay, if we push above the weekly, we go all the way to the daily, much higher at 67. I'm sorry, at 69, 61, 75. As long as they stay below that weekly, we remain suppressed, and we could come lower and fill the gap in. I mean, that's the realistic scenario of all this, and the simple fact that, you know, we fell down, we played support, we're starting to reclaim, leads me to believe that we have a strong possibility of at least filling this gap from yesterday. But it's really just going to come down to really that weekly I like a lot, but at 67, 61, and it really just depends if they're going to continue to hold the support that I showed you that we've been moving up already, those dailies. So you guys have an excellent weekend. Rest of your weekend. Sunday's almost over now. But I will see you guys tomorrow for the post-market breakdown and also in the room. So I'll see you then tomorrow. And tomorrow we conquer the markets. See you guys soon. Cheers.